You really believe that all vegetables are good for your health? If so, you may be making a mistake that is silently undermining your health, especially if you are over 60 years old. Many vegetables considered healthy hide compounds that inflame the body, affect the gut, and accelerate aging. And the worst part? Some of the most harmful ones are present in the meals of most American households. As we age, the body becomes less tolerant of certain plant components like lectins, oxalates, and solanines. These are substances that, in small quantities, do not affect a young organism, but that, in a more mature body, can cause swelling, joint pain, constant fatigue, and a generalized inflammation that no one can explain. And many people live like this, thinking they are eating well, when in reality, they are only feeding the problem. In this video, you will discover 3 vegetables that the elderly should avoid at all costs if they want to maintain healthy joints, light digestion, and constant energy. And of course, you will also meet 3 highly beneficial vegetables that act as natural allies against inflammation, help regenerate the body, and strengthen health with simplicity and effectiveness. It's not about following trendy diets, but about adapting your diet intelligently for this stage of life. And stay with me until the end, because the 3rd vegetable on the forbidden list is one of the most consumed in the United States, and almost no one knows how harmful it can be to the health of the elderly. If this topic has already caught your attention, take the opportunity to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Have you ever suspected that a healthy food was making you sick? Before we reveal the vegetables you should avoid, it is important to understand why this conversation is so urgent, especially for those over 60 years old. For decades, we have been taught to believe that all plant-based foods are automatically healthy. But modern science, along with clinical observations in the elderly, shows that not everything that comes from the earth is harmless, especially when the body begins to lose its natural ability to defend against certain compounds. As the years go by, the digestive system becomes more sensitive, internal inflammation increases, and metabolism slows down. This means that foods that previously did not cause any problems can now silently contribute to joint pain, poor digestion, lack of energy, and chronic inflammation. And many of these symptoms are erroneously attributed to natural aging, when in fact they are linked to misguided dietary choices. Several recent studies in the United States have already associated the frequent consumption of certain vegetables rich in anti-nutrients, such as oxalates and lectins, with common problems among the elderly, such as arthritis, intestinal problems, mental confusion, and even autoimmune diseases. Unfortunately, these foods are still promoted as essential in many popular diets. That misinformation is putting the health of millions of well-intentioned people at risk. Therefore, before simply following what people say out there, it's time to look more closely at what really works in practice. What you will see next may surprise you and even shock you, but the goal here is clear: to protect your health and provide clarity on what should or should not be on your plate. Have you ever felt that strange discomfort in your legs, as if they were heavy, painful, or as if you had walked all day even without doing anything? Or that uncomfortable swelling at the end of the afternoon, which seems to come from nowhere? Well, know that the cause may be in a food that seems harmless, and even healthy: the eggplant. Yes, that's right. A common vegetable on the table of many Americans, but which, for those over 60, can be a real trigger for inflammation. Eggplant is among the foods that have caused silent discomfort in many people, without anyone suspecting it. You know that feeling of a locked body, difficult digestion, painful joints, or that knee pain that doesn't go away? Well, in many cases, it's not age that's weighing you down, but what you're eating. Eggplant may seem like a light choice, but in many people it puffs up the body, causes retention, and increases internal inflammation, especially affecting those who already suffer from chronic pain. It is not difficult to find accounts of people who stopped consuming eggplant for a while and noticed that their body felt lighter, their digestion improved, and even their energy level increased. And the most surprising thing, they didn't even imagine that such a simple vegetable could be behind so much discomfort. It's as if the body breathed a sigh of relief after getting rid of a weight it had been carrying for years, without knowing why. What is most confusing is that eggplant has a reputation for being good for cholesterol and great for diets, which makes no one suspect it. But the truth is that not every food that seems healthy works well for all bodies, and the body of someone over 60 needs more care, more gentleness, less inflammation. Sometimes the secret to improvement in health is not in adding more things, but in removing what is silently interfering. If you have been feeling more swollen, sore, tired, even after a full night's sleep, try removing the eggplant for 15 days. That's it. See how you feel? Sometimes, the relief you are looking for is not in new medicines, but in foods you stop putting on your plate. And eggplant, as harmless as it may seem, can be one of those hidden villains. At first glance, bell pepper seems harmless. It's colourful, light, appears in salads, sautés, grilled, and many consider it a fit ingredient. But what few people realise is that it may be behind that unexplained discomfort you feel. That slight headache after meals, the bloating in the belly, the excessive gas, or even that feeling that the food didn't sit well. Bell pepper is hard to digest, and, for many people, acts as a food that irritates more than nourishes. It's common to hear accounts of people feeling heavy, with reflux, gas, or a burning sensation in the stomach after eating bell pepper, even in small amounts. And the most curious thing is that many don't even realize that it is the trigger, because the effects are silent and can appear hours later. Then the blame falls on other foods or the stresses of everyday life. But in truth, there are people suffering from something they put on their plate, thinking it was healthy. It's not just the stomach that feels it. Bell peppers are also associated with wider inflammation, which affects the joints, causes a feeling of physical fatigue, stiffness in the body, and even interferes with sleep. Waking up with tense shoulders, a locked lower back, or that heavy body feeling can indeed be related to this vegetable. The body gives signals. The problem is that we don't always connect these signals to the right food. It is important to understand that not everything natural is beneficial. In some organisms, bell peppers can be highly reactive, especially when consumed raw or undercooked. It may even seem light, but if your body is not digesting it well, it becomes a burden, not a food. And it's no use insisting just because they say it's good for you. What's good for one may be bad for another. If you feel that your digestion is slower, that you have swelled easily, or woken up with unexplained aches, it's worth doing a test. Remove the bell pepper from your diet for a few days. Observe how you feel. Sometimes it's not what's missing from your diet, it's what's left over. This may be the hardest part to hear. Tomato. The symbol of healthy eating is in almost everything. Salads, sauces, sandwiches, soups. It is one of the most consumed vegetables in the United States, and practically no one suspects that it may be silently undermining your health. But if you are inflamed, have an irritated intestine, and a constant feeling of heaviness and discomfort, the tomato may be the big villain disguised as a hero. Behind the red skin and light flavor, the tomato carries highly irritating substances for many people's bodies. It also belongs to the same family as eggplant and bell pepper, the dreaded nightshades. These plants, although natural, contain compounds that the body doesn't always digest well, such as salinins and natural acids present in the skin and seeds. The result? Difficult digestion, heavy stomach, reflux, abdominal bloating, gas, and that feeling that something didn't go down well. But the symptoms don't stop there. Frequent tomato consumption is associated with joint inflammation, neck stiffness, wrist pain, and a feeling of locking up when getting out of bed. Many people live this way, waking up in pain, with a stiff body, thinking it's just fatigue, without realizing they are feeding this pain every day, unwittingly. And most alarmingly, even industrialized tomato sauces or juices can cause the same effects. In addition, tomatoes are one of the foods that most cause acidity in the body. Have you noticed how many people feel heartburn or reflux after a pizza, a red sauce, or a raw tomato salad? It's no coincidence. In a body already overloaded, the acid from the tomato acts as fuel for the fire of inflammation. And what starts with a slight discomfort evolves into broader symptoms: muscle aches, fatigue, fluid retention, and even difficulty concentrating. Another problem is that tomatoes rarely come alone. They appear together with cheeses, pastas, breads, ready-made sauces, and industrialized seasonings. And this creates an inflammatory bomb. In other words, tomatoes not only irritate the body on their own, but also amplify the negative effects of the foods that accompany them. The body feels the impact and responds with pain, weight, fatigue, and increasingly slow digestion. It's shocking to think that such a common food can cause so much harm. But that's precisely what makes it dangerous: how frequently it's consumed. When something seems normal, no one questions it, but your body doesn't lie. If you've noticed your aches and pains increasing, your swelling getting worse, that you're always tired, and you consume tomatoes every day, you should reconsider their use. And if tomatoes are behind this hidden suffering, rethinking what seems harmless could be the start of a transformation. Sometimes it's not what you need to add to your diet, it's what you need to stop tolerating. After revealing the vegetables that may be sabotaging your health behind the symptoms you feel day to day, you may be wondering, but then what can I eat without fear? That's the right question, and it's the one that will open a new chapter in your relationship with food. Because yes, there is a group of vegetables that are not only safe, but help the body recover, cleanse itself from the inside, and function better. These vegetables act as true natural allies. They reduce inflammation, debloat the body, improve digestion, strengthen the gut, and even deliver real energy. That light, effortless energy that doesn't depend on coffee or medication. And the best part? They're simple, accessible, and easy to incorporate into your routine. The secret isn't in inventing trends, but in consciously choosing the right ones. What comes next is what no one teaches: the vegetables your body truly appreciates when you consume them regularly. These are foods that help cleanse the excess, relieve the body's burden, and bring back that good feeling of lightness and clarity in daily life. Eating right isn't about trends. It's about listening to your body and giving it what it really needs. Now, yes, let's go to the 3 vegetables that you should eat frequently if you want to strengthen your health, reduce pain, and recover your well-being from the inside out. Few vegetables are as underestimated as zucchini: discreet, light, soft. Many people even look askance when it appears on the plate. But what almost no one knows is that it is one of the most digestive-friendly and natural anti-inflammatory vegetables you can incorporate into your diet. Zucchini acts as a balm in the intestines. It soothes, hydrates from within, and helps put things in order, especially when the body is overloaded, inflamed, and tired. She is rich in water, soft fibers, and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. The effect on the body is almost immediate for those who are sensitive. Less swelling, less bloated belly, more relaxed digestion, and that lightness that seems difficult to achieve when the body is heavy. For those who live with the feeling of slow digestion, constant gas, or a discomfort that seems not to go away, the zucchini can be a true silent ally. And the most interesting thing, because it is easy to digest and very versatile, it goes well with any meal. It can be grilled, steamed, sautéed with a thread of olive oil, or even included in soups. The body is grateful because it does not irritate, does not ferment, does not weigh. On the contrary, it helps to calm the internal fire that other foods provoke without us noticing. Many people report that by regularly including zucchini in their meals, they started to wake up more willing, with the intestine working better and the feeling of bloating disappearing. This is not a miracle. It's the body receiving something it recognizes as good. Sometimes what we most need is not more supplements or expensive formulas, but foods that really respect the natural rhythm of the organism. If you are looking for lightness, digestive peace, and a body that works without so much effort, give zucchini a chance. It may not be the star of Instagram dishes, but it is exactly this silent and gentle profile that makes it one of the best friends of health, especially for those who want to age with more comfort and less inflammation. When we talk about foods that really cleanse, probe the dual body from the inside, strengthen the immune system, and help recover natural energy, kale deserves a prominent place. It is not just another green leaf on the plate. It is a true medicinal plant disguised as a common vegetable. Rich in chlorophyll, iron, calcium, and anti-inflammatory compounds, kale acts as a natural detoxifying agent that relieves the liver, reduces swelling in the body, and protects cells against damage from time. Those who start consuming kale regularly feel the benefits in practice. Digestion improves, the intestines respond better, the skin becomes more radiant, and the mind becomes lighter. This is because kale helps to cleanse accumulated toxins, especially from poor diet, excessive medication, or stress. It frees the body from silent overloads, and as a result, the whole body functions better from head to toe. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. You can include raw kale in green juices, sautéed with garlic and olive oil, or even mixed into soups. The important thing is that it becomes part of your routine as a support for your system. It's as if every time you consume it, you're giving your body a new chance to balance itself. Because the truth is that many of the symptoms we feel, fatigue, pain, swelling, come from internal overload, and kale helps alleviate this burden. Furthermore, it is one of the green leaves that provides the most essential minerals for bones, muscles, and even the brain. If you've been feeling that your energy is low, that your body is slow to respond, or that your mind is always a bit tired, the problem may not be lack of strength, but lack of true nutrition. And kale delivers this in a clean, direct way, without side effects, without exaggerated promises. It may not seem like a big deal at first glance, but kale is one of those foods that, when they truly become part of your routine, change everything around you. You start to feel lighter, more whole, more energetic, and you realize that your body is grateful when it receives something that truly nourishes it. It's green, it's simple, and it's profoundly powerful. Almost no one takes quiote seriously. It's that vegetable that appears in the corner of the plate, often without grace, without strong color, without a distinct taste. But what it lacks in fame, it makes up for in function. Quiote is one of the lightest, most hydrating and regulating vegetables that exist, and this makes it a true natural remedy for those who feel their body is overloaded swollen, or inflamed. Sometimes it's exactly that gentleness that the body needs the most. The chayote is rich in water, soluble fibers, and minerals that help the body to reduce swelling, eliminate toxins, and balance sodium levels. For those who suffer from fluid retention, heavy legs, ankle swelling, or a petrified body sensation, the chayote can be a simple and effective solution. It acts as a natural drainer, helping the lymphatic system to function better and relieving that feeling of weight that seems to have no reason. Additionally, the chayote is extremely gentle on the stomach. It soothes, does not ferment, and also contributes to a more fluid, effortless digestion. For those living with an imbalanced intestine, gas, or slow digestion, it can make a huge difference. And as it is very versatile, it can be used cooked, sautéed, in soups, or even steamed with a touch of olive oil and salt. The body is grateful each time it appears on the plate. The most interesting thing is that even being light, the chayote helps maintain satiety for longer. It fills, hydrates, cleanses, and nourishes, all at the same time and without aggression. Many report that by including chayote more often in their diet, they began to notice a lighter body, faster digestion, and a more stable mood. And that makes sense. When the body doesn't have to fight with what it's receiving, it relaxes. And when it relaxes, everything improves. Never underestimate a vegetable for seeming too simple. Chayote may not have the fame of the trendy superfoods, but it has a silent power that only those who put it into practice understand. It doesn't promise miracles, but it delivers relief, softness, and balance. And sometimes that's exactly what the body needs most. If you want to multiply the effects of the right vegetables we've talked about so far, zucchini, kale, chayote, there's a simple, inexpensive, and powerful habit that can transform your routine. Start the day with a glass of warm water with fresh lemon juice. It's that simple. Before any food, even before coffee, this practice helps activate digestion, eliminate accumulated toxins, and balance the body's pH, preparing your body to function at its best throughout the day. Lemon, although sour in taste, has an alkalizing effect within the body, helping to neutralize the acidity that contributes to inflammation, joint pain, and constant fatigue. Warm water, on the other hand, relaxes the digestive system and stimulates the liver, one of the main detoxification organs. When you combine the two, you create a kind of morning reset that makes the body work more fluidly. And this directly impacts lightness, energy, and even mood. Many people who adopt this habit report improved digestion, less abdominal bloating, more regular bowel movements, and a general feeling of lightness throughout the day. And best of all, it doesn't depend on expensive supplements or complicated diets. It's something you can do right now with ingredients you already have in your kitchen. The secret is in the consistency. This simple gesture, done every day, prepares your body to better absorb the right foods and eliminate what's in excess. If you're already eating better, but feel your body is still sluggish or inflamed, this practice may be the push you're missing. It's not a miraculous promise. It's basic physiology, which works because it respects the nature of your body. Start tomorrow. Just a glass of warm water with lemon, and notice how little by little the things inside you begin to change. Now that you know the vegetables that silently inflame the body, and those that help to cleanse, heal, and strengthen from the inside out, the choice is in your hands. Health does not happen by chance. It is built every day with the decisions you make, in the kitchen, at the market, on the plate. And these decisions do not need to be complicated. Sometimes it all starts with the courage to remove what is harming you and make space for what truly nourishes you. You don't need to follow crazy diets or seek expensive solutions. What your body needs most is clarity, consistency, and respect. The right foods are like silent allies. They act gently, but transform your daily life. They reduce pain, take the weight off your joints, ease digestion, restore energy. And when you see this in practice, you realize your body has always been ready to improve. It just needed the right tools. If this video helped you, give it a like now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next content. Here, we talk about real health in a simple, honest, and practical way. No beating around the bush. And I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a bad experience with a vegetable that everyone said was healthy? Or have you felt an improvement by including lighter foods in your daily life? Comment down below. Your story can help others see themselves too. Remember, true change doesn't start at the pharmacy. It starts with your decision. You can continue to feel heavy, tired, inflamed. Or you can flip the switch and start a new cycle with more lightness, awareness, and vitality. Your body deserves this chance, and it starts